So I want to go back to that word association exercise that we did at the beginning of the session. I want to ask you about one other person. What's the first word or phrase that comes to mind when I mention Vice President Kamala Harris? Everybody got one? Candace, why don't you go first?
Where is she?
Julius?
Over her head.
Alan?
Not enough experience. No experience.
Jerome?
She talks a good game. That's about it.
Michael?
Background.
Meaning what?
I hope she's working, but she's in the background and we can't see it.
She's in the background. Okay, thank you.
She's in the background. Yeah.
Carolyn, again, unmute.
I agree with everything everyone said. They took all my words.
What were you going to say?
No, I agree with them. She's inexperienced. She's like, just like, as they say, she's a token. He wanted to get the black vote. Let's just put it there. And he chose Kamala Harris for the black vote.
Okay. Nakia?
We don't know what she's doing.
Okay, got it. All right. By a show of fingers, who would like to see her become president someday? None of you. Why not? Jerome, why not?
I don't know what she's doing.
So she's like an empty vessel as far as you can tell. It's like there's nothing,
I don't see any. I don't. It's again. I don't know what she's doing. I don't really see her that much, and I just don't know. And just I don't know. I don't think she has the experience to be running anything really. That's just my opinion.
Okay. So from your perspective, she's been at the president's side for the last 3 years. That doesn't count as getting experience?
Not to me. I mean, like I said, I don't know anything that she's doing. I mean, I just know that seems to be always missing. And I know one of the things is that there was a situation where I think in her old duties is that she locked up a lot of African American people for like small things like drugs and stuff. And she had an interview. I forgot the TV show where they asked her, has she ever dealt with marijuana? And she said, yeah. And they kind of clowned her on that situation, is that she locked up a lot of people for mostly African Americans for small amount of marijuana.
Got it. Okay.
And yeah, that just stuck with me. So no, I don't.
Okay. Anybody else have a different reason why you would not want to see her as president? Michael?
She hadn't put any wins on the board. She's been, like you said, she's been in the second most powerful seat in the country for 3 years. But I don't have a list. I haven't seen her out front claiming, hey, here's the things that we were working on. Here are the accomplishments that I have been directly involved in. You know, I remember a press conference, she got handed the border. And that's one of the things we've seen literally no progress on in 3 years. So if you got the border, okay, like where's your big win? Where's our big victory for you having the border?
Got it. Okay. Carol, I'm going to move on just in the interest of time. I apologize. By a show of fingers, who thinks President Biden has not used Vice President Harris to her full potential? So for 4 of you. So 4 of you think that she could be being used for more than Biden is using her for. Is that right? Okay. By a show of fingers, and for those of you not planning to vote for former President Trump, if former President Trump chose an African-American running mate, would that cause any of you to become more likely to vote for him? Would that move any of you in any way, shape, or form? Chooses Tim Scott, someone? Nope, nothing. Okay. let's go back to that word association exercise we started with tonight. I just want to hear a word or phrase that comes to mind when I mention one other person. Vice President Kamala Harris. Stop and think for a second. First word or phrase that comes to mind when you hear her name. Dorothy, why don't you go first?
A token,
Talking.
a token. She's a token. They
Token.
just put her there just to fool the black people.
Got it. Okay. Martin,
Inauthentic.
Michelle,
Submissive.
sorry,
Submissive.
submissive or dismissive?
Actually could be both, but I said submissive.
Submissive. Okay, the first syllable got lost there. Sorry.
No worries.
TC,
Puppet.
Michael,
Invisible.
Shalia,
The feds.
Kelly.
Absent.
All right. By a show of fingers, how many of you would like to see her become president someday? Just one of you. Michelle, why?
I don't even necessarily want to see specifically her become president. I do agree with a lot of her policies that the administration has done. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm focusing on about her specifically.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I was but see, for me, her is the administration. So are you wanting to just me see her face as president without the administration? Because I asked that before and you said the administration.
No,
So this time it's just her.
On this specific question, at some point in the
Just
future,
her.
we'd like to see her be president of the United States.
That answer would remain the same. Yes.
Yes. Okay. And why?
For one, because I'm tired of seeing old white men do it.
Okay, but I understand there are a lot of people who are not old white men.
Well, I'm specifically speaking of her because she is a double minority. She is a woman. She's familiar with politics. She's familiar with the presidency at this point. So there's lots of ways that she has experience over other people. And that's why I said specifically her, because she's not an old white man. She did go to a HBCU. She's Black, she's Asian, she's a she. So for me, there's lots of things that put her over some of the people that have been thrown in our face as a candidate.
Got it. Okay.
And I would love to see her. I would love to see how a woman would change things because I think we would.
Okay. Yeah. My question is less about a woman or less about a woman who's half Asian, half African American, and more.
But that's what she is.
No. There's obviously, yes. But my question is, but what is it about her that you would like to see her as president of the United States? Is there anything else about besides sort of her demographics?
But I named a few things. I also said because she has experience now. She as the vice president. I mean, she is the vice president. She had experience before she went into office.
Okay, so
also I said that she.
I'm sorry, so her years as senator, her years as attorney general of California,
Right.
all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, she has political experience. I also said because historically, like I'm thinking she went to a HBCU. She has some things that other candidates would not have. There's never been a president that's come from an HBCU. There's never been a female president. Like my thing is she has attributes that no one else has. And so that's why I'm saying it would be great to see her as long as her policies stay in line with mine, but it would be great to see her.
Okay, got it. So it's the full package you're describing to me.
Yeah.
All of it. Her policies, her background, everything. Okay.
Yes.
No, I'm playing devil's advocate to understand exactly
No
what.
worries.
Thank you. All right. What the rest of you? Why don't you want to see her as president?
I said I do.
You do. Two of you. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. And Shalia, why? Same reason as Michelle or different?
Pretty much the same. Definitely the experience. I think she's qualified, and a lot of people have not been qualified, but also too, she is an AKA, which I am also. So I believe that she would have a good like cabinet around her, qualified cabinet around her.
Okay. Got it. Rest of you, why don't you want to see her as a president someday?
Well, I don't think she's qualified because the way she got the position was because of James Clyburn. He made a deal with Biden to put her in there to get the black votes, and I don't think that was right because she was running for president, and she had to get out because didn't nobody vote for her. So I don't think she got the position right.
Okay.
That's my opinion. That's why I don't like
Yeah.
Anybody else have a different reason why you don't think she's qualified? Or don't want to see her as president?
Yeah, she's a puppet, just like Obama, and the common denominator is Biden. So the policies, the way things are leaning, I'm not with it, so yeah, she
Okay.
want to bring something different to the table.
Got it. By a show of fingers, who thinks that President Biden has not used Vice President Harris to her full potential? I think the president has not used her to her full potential. 4 of you. Okay. And by a show of fingers, for those of you not planning to vote for former President Trump, if Trump chose an African-American running mate, would that cause any of you to become more likely to vote for him? One of you said that earlier, right?
She didn't say
Oh,
it had to.
I said,
You said
go
it.
ahead. I said, that's
Hey,
not what I
Mike.
said. I
Wait,
said, depending on the candidate, it doesn't need to be like, it doesn't have to be like a black person. Like, I
okay.
don't want to see him, oh, y'all got one, so I got one too. Like, it just depends on who the candidate is.
Oh, well, glad I asked that question again, Michelle. Thanks for clarifying. Got it. All right. So this is what happens when you make assumptions, right? Okay. No, this is awesome. Thank you. All right. So, but for none of you, it would make a difference if Trump chose an African-American running mate, like Tim Scott or someone like that. That you wouldn't be like, oh,
Why would you say Tim Scott?
You tried that.
Like,
well, it's
I think
obviously
it'll be cool. I'm not against it. That would definitely be refreshing.
I've got one person. Biden would be more attractive to me if he were to pick Michelle Obama as his VP.
I was asking about Trump choosing another running
Oh,
mate.
hell no. Forget that. No, ain't nothing gonna change that.
Yeah. Okay. That was it. And by the way, and again, sort of in the spirit of my back and forth with Michelle here, do any of you have a African-American, could be a politician or not, who you'd like to see be president someday? So setting aside Kamala Harris, we already talked about. Is there any other African-American?
Yeah.
Who?
The current speaker of the House that took over for Nancy Pelosi. Hakeem Jeffries. He's up and coming.
Minority leader. Yes. The Democrat. Okay. Jeffrey. How many of you by show of hands would like to see Jeffries be president someday? 3 of you. Okay. Anybody else? I'll take that as a no.
I was about to say, I actually am a fan of Abrams if she stays in the political realm and not just like the voting realm. If she continues to move up within the ranks, I would be a fan of Stacey Abrams.
I second that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Great.